Welcome to a Victim Bites Back special from Rome in Italy, one of my favourite cities in the world. When I first came here years ago, I vowed to come here every year of my life. Along with Paris, the other city, I said the same, and indeed I have done. Here I am in front of the Moët and Chandon area that they've built up this year around my pool in Rome. It's a little odd because I don't drink champagne. It's far too acidic for me. But even so, I thought it would make for a amusing shot. There are my feet by the pool. I've come to this hotel, the Cavaliere, for 60 years now. It is absolutely fabulous. The pool itself is marvellous and very comfortable with these wonderful trees. I'll go on again more about the trees of Italy, which I absolutely adore. And there's a restaurant here, and you can see just the top of my Tutankhamun towel in the corner there. This is where I am basically year after year, with a slight odd interruption when I have to pop into Her Majesty's luxury estate. But I love it here. It has a fantastic view all over most of Rome. You could see the Vatican City below. It's got I think it's on one of the seven hills of Rome, Monte Mario. I believe this is one of this is the hill that actually Romulus and Remus were meant to be brought up by wolves, which was the founding of Rome, if you remember. But I can't afford to stay there anymore. I used to in the good old days when I was wealthy. These days I stay in another hotel, and again there are fabulous trees. I mean, look at this, it's wonderful. And I love the fact that you can be in the middle of Rome and yet you're surrounded by greenery and trees and lawns and freshness. You can breathe in the air, which is fantastic, and I just love it. And this is odd. This is my favourite road in the world. Now, it may seem odd to you to have a favourite road, but this actually was, I am told, the very first road. As you know, what did Rome give to us? Well, they gave us roads. This was the first road. It goes all the way out from Rome to Ostia. Ostia used to be the port of Rome, where all the ships came in, and this is where the Romans built their first road, so that emperors in their chariots and people carrying goods that they wanted to take or collect from China or so could go on this road like an arrow out to the sea with these fabulous trees all the way down. Ostia now, of course, is no longer a port. It's basically a beach resort where mainly the locals come to enjoy the sand. I come out here, I love it round here. It's beautiful, by the way, but I don't actually like all the beaches. They're always too crowded for me, and I don't like actually swimming in the sea. I don't like salt on my skin. I prefer actually to swim in fresh water or chlorinated water. But I love coming out here, and there's one particular restaurant that I've come to forever that overlooks the beaches, which is where I am at this very moment, where I have the most fabulous fresh fish or seafood, including shrimp risotto with langoustines in it, which is just delicious, and all other kinds of freshly caught, fantastic fish, along with some chips and salad, of a simple but delicious meal. I do, of course, drive around Rome looking at all the normal sights. This is the Via Veneto, the famous road in Rome, on which is Harry's Bar. Not the original, that's in Venice, but this, I think, was the second. And I sit there and drink a Bellini, peach juice and champagne. I often used to come here with my dear friend Nino Mulas, who was the Italian who taught me how to speak Italian, and was always there since the 1960s, a very dear friend of mine. In fact, he was a typical Roman, looked like a Roman senator, and he had this little flat in San Basilio he'd inherited from his parents, who'd inherited it from their parents. And he always said to me, "Jonathan, when I die, I leave in my will my flat for you." He did have a wife and children, but he was separated from them years and years ago. Unfortunately, he died in his bed when the cigarette he was smoking set fire to the flat. Everything in it was destroyed, including his will, so I never got to inherit his little flat.
This is the statue of Sibyl. It's been here for literally thousands and thousands of years. I managed to persuade my friend Samson, who was going to propose to his fiancée Monica, now wife, to propose to her here as it's so romantic. But he proposed to her early. So instead he made a second proposal to her, which worked like a charm.
She still thinks this is the most romantic thing that ever happened to her. I bring all my friends out here if they're in Rome, not just Samson and Monica, but also James, my assistant, and my dear friends Nordic and everyone else, going all the way back for the 60 years I've come out to Tivoli. It is fantastic to look at. Marvellous views, the waterfalls beneath it. It's really somewhere special to look. And this is the actual temple. Samson managed to persuade the people to remove the chains in front of it so that he could take Monica in, go down on one knee and propose to her in the place where Roman emperors used to come out and say to the Sibyl, the oracle, should we invade Great Britain? And she would slit her chicken open, examine its entrails and say, "Oh yes, you'll find it's quite a decent place. They do very good roast beef and roast potatoes and Yorkshire pudding, well worth invading." It's now a restaurant, and it's been a restaurant for hundreds of years. It was Napoleon's favourite restaurant. He used to come here regularly, and often in the winter, where they only have seats inside, I come here and sit at the very seat that Napoleon used to sit at, thinking as I ate my meal, not about punk, hip-hop, metal, techno and other things, modern music, but of the Emperor Napoleon eating here and contemplating his future, which wasn't to be very good. I love it out here. I used to stay in a hotel near Tivoli, and this was it, which I popped in and visited. Many of my friends, including Samson and Monica, stayed here. It's a hotel just in Bagni di Tivoli, just outside Tivoli, which, when I first started coming here, it was really a 4-star hotel at 2-star prices. Marvellous find. It then slowly became a 4-star hotel at 3-star prices and also declined a little bit. And now, although it's still lovely, it is essentially a 3-star hotel at 3-star prices. But it's still a nice place to visit and have a cocktail. When in Rome, they say, do as the Romans do. I am actually reading the Robert Harris trilogy about Cicero, but I tend to eat Chinese, as I always do, in my favourite Mandarin kitchen restaurant just round the corner from Harry's bar. I've taken all my friends here as well, and whenever I pop in there, they ask after each of them. Very good Chinese food. I love Rome in Italy. But I'm now heading back to England for a couple of weeks for Glastonbury and, of course, Wimbledon. So I'll report from there next on A Victim Bites Back.